What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. With this video, we are jumping into the brand new issue number 1 of Daredevil. This story will be picking us up directly after Devil's Reign. Back at it is Chip Zdarsky, and he is giving us the next era of what Daredevil is truly going to be. And if you guys remember, Daredevil and Elektra, they decided to find and really bring together the Fist, an organization that is going to be hell-bent on taking down the Hand, which is going to make for a very interesting story considering the Punisher is now the High Slayer of the Hand. So make sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel, you've liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 1, we are picking up with some narration from a mysterious, unrevealed individual. As he makes his way through this city, he sees the turmoil, the suffering, and it appears that he has one bright light. That bright light is Matt Murdock. And right now, this individual, that is exactly who he is looking for. And that's what picks us up with Daredevil, having a conversation with maybe himself or somebody else. It doesn't really specify or show the face. What we do see is a Daredevil with red eyes. Seemingly, this is a Daredevil that is in the near future, and he is talking about all of the individuals who made the decision to save the world, overcoming the violence of their past. They let the righteous violence into their lives. The question that Daredevil has proposed is at what cost? What has it cost all of these soldiers that you have enlisted into your army? And that's what takes us to New York City. Prior to Daredevil leaving the city, he goes and he meets up with the new Kingpin of Hell's Kitchen. That, of course, is Butch, the son of Wilson Fisk, or one of the sons of Wilson Fisk. And right now, Butch believes this to be Mike, Matt Murdock's brother. Matt Murdock's brother, he died at the hands of Wilson Fisk. And so as he plays his brother, he is really trying to get a feel for who this new Butch is, who the new Kingpin is going to be, with Butch letting Daredevil know that I am sorry about your brother, but he claims that he is not going to rule with an iron fist. He says that he is going to run this city with compassion. As the conversation continues on, we see Daredevil, he starts to get a little bit antsy, starts to get a little bit aggressive in the way that he is talking to Butch. Butch still believing this to be Mike Murdock. He is letting him know that they are partners, but you really need to watch the way you talk to me and the way that you confront individuals. And this is when Daredevil, he shows who he truly is, knocking Butch down to the ground, and then quickly taking care of 2 of his guards. But Daredevil, he's not doing this alone. At this point, Butch has already figured out exactly what is happening. With Spider-Man showing up on scene, we see Matt Murdock throw on that mask, and they are letting Butch know that if you act like your father in any way, shape, or form, then the heroes of this city are gonna come down on you like a freaking wrecking ball. Picking up a little bit later on a rooftop, Spider-Man, he's not necessarily sure that this method is going to work, trying to terrorize the new Kingpin into acting right, if you will. And while it didn't work so great for them last time, Butch is a different breed. He is more cautious than his father. But Daredevil also wanted him to know that even if the Devil of Hell's Kitchen leaves this city, that there will be others to stop him. That is why he is bringing Spider-Man along with him. Spider-Man also letting Daredevil know that it was an awesome way to go using the Matt Murdock disguise. Spider-Man believing that this is not in fact Matt Murdock. And that is because of the Purple Children, erasing any knowledge of the secret of Matt Murdock's secret identity. Right now, Daredevil, he is about to let somebody know, taking off his mask and letting Spider-Man know that he is in fact Matt Murdock. And like a cascade of memories, all of them come flooding back to Spider-Man. Absolutely shocked, a little bit confused, he quickly realizes that Mike Murdock was his brother. And so for Matt, it's been very difficult for him, not being able to tell anybody who he is, feeling like he needed a fresh start. But now that he is quote unquote dead, he doesn't have to be as cautious. And while Spider-Man, he really does wish that he could let Daredevil know about his secret identity. The thing is, Peter Parker is still alive and kicking, and it's just not a risk that Spider-Man is willing to take. And so the two of them, they continue their tour of New York City, going around to all of the hot spots. This is just reminding the criminal underworld that there are individuals out there that will stop them, because when the word goes out, when everybody knows that Daredevil is no longer in this city, he worries that some of these criminals might get a bad idea. They might try to take advantage of that situation. And so having Spider-Man along with him, this is just reminding them that Daredevil is not the only thing that they should be fearing. As Spider-Man takes off for the night, or at this point it is already morning, Daredevil, he sits here and he's trying to figure out what to do next. And that has everything to do with Kristin. She is about ready to leave and he wants to ensure that he gets to her before that happens. And that's what takes us over to a man who is carrying a gun. He had bought this gun while he was out of town. He has held it every single night, just thinking, today is the day that he plans to use it on his boss. But as he makes his way into a coffee shop, somebody gets very rude with him. And in this rudeness, we see the old man, he pulls out a pistol. The gunshot rings. Daredevil hears this, but he is not able to make it in time. Getting here, taking down the gunman, rushing over to the man that had just been shot. Daredevil was too late. With the sirens on their way, the ambulance not that far in the distance, we see Daredevil take off, feeling a little bit guilty about this, but he wanted to try and reach Kristin before it was too late, before she was gone from this city. But yet again, he is too late to meet her, sitting here next to the train tracks. This is where he runs into an old friend. This old friend is Robert Goldman, aka Goldie. Foggy and Matt Murdock had gone to law school with him. This is the guy that prosecuted him for murder. Not really sure why he is here or what reasoning any of this has, but what Goldie says next is that she is gone. Then he starts talking about how Daredevil has done so much good in this city, all of the people he has saved and the lives that he has changed. But then he refers to Daredevil as Matt. Goldie apologizing, saying that he knows this is horrible for him, but he has waited for years to tell him. Since the days at Columbia, we see Goldie begin to glow, saying that things have changed, and he knows that he needs to be more direct now. With Goldie beginning to glow, Daredevil, he can physically see Goldie, not really understanding what this is or what this means. Goldie says that he is Daredevil's guardian angel, but he is not hers. And off in the distance, we see that train that Kristin had got on. It goes up in flames. And so the question to Daredevil, what did he leave behind in that city? He will tell you that he left nothing behind, nothing more than distractions. Being asked why he is so tense around one of his soldiers. But Daredevil, he says that this individual, they are not a soldier. He is here because Daredevil had no choice. He is here because in this world, Robert Goldman is the only thing that terrifies Daredevil. He is the leader of the Fist, the man without fear. And so right now, he is scared because normally he fears nothing except God. And this is what picks us up with Daredevil, aka Elektra. She finds herself airdropping into a very remote location. This location is where she runs into Stick, and Stick has chosen this location for the rebirth of the Fist. This is where it all began. This is where the Fist started, and this is where it will rise again, to be the army that finally takes down the Hand. Elektra, she is still a little bit unsure on how Matt Murdock is going to do as the new leader of the Fist, because the truth is, to get Matt Murdock on board, she had to make some concession. But dressing up as Daredevil, that was never the concession that she had to make. This is how she was able to get Matt really convinced to trust her, not being able to finish this conversation because they are met with some company, men standing outside wielding guns. This is absolutely no match for both Elektra and Stick as they make their way through all of these would-be assassins. It takes almost no time at all for them to dispatch them. Now Stick, he is much more violent. In fact, Stick has gone behind Elektra and killed all 3 of these guys. This is when Stick realizes that the tortured Boy Scout finally got to her, learning after Matt Murdock, Elektra no longer kills. This is when Elektra, she gets a little mad at what Stick is saying, striking just the right nerve. Stick is letting her know that one of you are doomed. And Elektra, she already knows this. This isn't something this Stick needs to tell her. But the truth is, she has died in Matt's arms before. And she will do it again if it means saving the world. If it means giving her time on this planet some kind of meaning. Or she is going to be the one to hold Matt Murdock as he dies. The man whose life it is all about meaning. And while Stick, he is definitely right. They are both fools. But Matthew, he is a fool with a destination. As this fight comes to an end, we see Elektra, she gets the upper hand, stopping herself before she smashes Stick right in the face. Stick realizes how different Elektra has become. She has put limitations on herself. This has pulled something out of her. But she fights with the passion that Daredevil does, believing that maybe, just maybe, this Daredevil thing, it might actually be good for Elektra. Letting him know that if you disobey me again, I will throw you into the sea. Telling him to get up because they have a world to save. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, Chip Zdarsky, he does an absolutely amazing job at writing when it comes to this brand new issue number 1 of Daredevil. He has knocked it out of the park yet again. Not really sure where this is all going to lead to. This whole Goldie plot is going to be a very interesting turn of events. If you guys are brand new to Daredevil or you haven't been reading Daredevil in quite a while, this is a great story arc for you guys to pick up and really start following this series. But I will highly recommend that you at least check out Devil's Reign. But this is laying the groundwork for what is yet to come. Their standoff with the Punisher, it is inevitable. But right now, they are building their forces. They are building their army. The Fist is beginning to form, and the righteous hand of God is leading them. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been happening with Daredevil over the last year, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with Daredevil. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and until the next breakdown.